Let's talk about distracted driving today.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
That's a growing concern, something that everybody's talking about, but we're not sure that it's actually reducing.
Yeah, I don't know that it is. There are now laws. You get ticketed for distracted driving. First of all, can we outline what is now ticket worthy? So I know that texting and driving is a big no-no. There are a couple other things you can't do too.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's quite a bit of discretion in what actually constitutes distracted driving. Certainly you see in the advertisements, applying makeup and shaving and all of those things, dealing with your children. Distracted driving sort of legally, I think, can mean quite a wide range of things.
Interesting, yeah. And I know that you're not allowed to actually hold your cell phone to your ear while talking.
Right.
But there are some interesting facts on what is distracting us in actual fact.
Right, like apart from getting a ticket for distracted driving, you could be distracted while you're driving, and that's something that we see a lot. I would say the vast majority of our accidents that we deal with are rear-end collisions. There really isn't a good reason to have a rear-end collision. Maybe if your brakes fail, but most of the time there's a reason, and most of the time it has to do with being distracted.
Yeah.
So that's a big concern that we have in our practice.
So while we all think of distracted driving as something that's come along in the last 5 to 10 years, in fact, in personal injury, distracted driving's been around forever.
Right. So the kinds of things that I hear, because I ask questions of the people who are involved in the accident, right? The person who did the rear ending. And so I always want to know, it's part of my job to know, why did this happen? If you rear end someone, you're probably responsible.
Right.
But, we like to know why. So typically we'll hear things like, well, my sunglasses dropped on the floor. Not too long ago I was tying my shoe. That's not a good reason. That's not a good thing to do while you're driving.
You know what's a good thing to do while you're driving?
Right.
Driving.
Yes.
That's what you want to be doing.
Focus on the road. Exactly.
And there are more, one thing we do know, there are more distractions than ever.
Sure.
So you can alleviate this. I think most people follow too close. You think, even if you're a person who doesn't tailgate, you think that you're not too close. You probably are, in fact.
Oh yeah, I mean that test that we all learned in driver's ed, where you count the two full seconds. I do that all the time in the highway, and trust me, if anyone's a paranoid driver, it's me. Given what I do for a living, I do that test all the time, and I'm always too close.
Okay.
Even though I think I've left a very wide distance.
Well, if you're at 100 kilometers an hour, even three car lengths is not going to do it.
No,
that's not going to do it.
It's amazing, when you look at the posts on the side of the highway, you need, depending on the distance between them, but probably 3 is what's safe.
So I hope you're thinking of that. I know that it is a little bit tricky after the fact to prove this, isn't it? The distraction, a rear end collision is usually going to be a distracted driving, as you mentioned, but would a witness help in this situation?
Well, certainly if somebody saw somebody on a cell phone or saw somebody texting, that would be helpful. Doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, and maybe not even texting, but I think you and I both know that when you're behind a driver, I'm going to turn around for the camera on this one. When you're behind the driver and you see this, right? The back of they're looking down. Well, what are they doing? They're definitely not paying attention to what they're doing.
Right. And for civil liability, for what I do, the accident cases, it doesn't really matter if I prove that you're on the phone. The only time it might matter is if there's a real debate about how the accident happened.
Okay.
Then proving that someone was on a phone or texting or, turned around screaming at their children, it would be relevant. But for most of the time, the position of the vehicles and who had the right of way will determine it.
Yeah. So the investigation on scene actually helps you out a lot.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's why people are so quick to move their cars. I know you were talking earlier about how politeness, and Canadians are, or at least Ontarians, are very polite and want to move their cars out of the way to let traffic by. And of course, that is good.
Right.
But before you do that, document where the cars are. Please document where the cars are. Snap some pictures.
We all have a phone on us now with a camera.
Everybody has a phone.
Right.
So take that 30 seconds to do that, and then be the polite people and move over to the side.